Black people could go a generation without having kids. Like I don't feel like a
I'm
lot
too
of people are in
passionate.
position. We don't have the money. It's a lot of mental illness. We don't have the
It's
economy.
all
We
not
don't have the
us,
backup.
not
I feel
TD
like we could
Jakes.
go like a generation without having kids. I honestly feel like that.
Really know if this is my last time, but what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw that clip. Google the book first so you can find it on Amazon. This is what I meant by the generation reminds me of boomers. And this is what I mean. I get what the young lady's saying, the young woman's saying, or the woman's saying, that maybe you need to stop. We shouldn't have kids for a generation because, of money, mental issues, and whatnot. The problem with that, and that's why I say sometimes, people remind me of boomers, is because you don't look like you're in a See, a lot of y'all forget that, I'm not saying you should bring kids into poverty. I'm not saying that. But I think y'all have a warped version of what poverty is. I think because people got brought into this world with less and had a pretty good life. And it seems like we have a generation of people who want the world to be perfect for them to do anything. And what I mean is, how much money do you need to do it? And usually people go, oh, I need hundreds of thousands. I need to be a millionaire. I need to, and it's like, stop it, stop, just stop. Because some of y'all have reached the threshold where y'all can actually have a family. Y'all just want to do other stuff. Like I've seen people play this game where, oh, I can't afford it. And it's like, but you afford kicking it very hard. Like you afford going out and partying a lot. You afford going on vacations and trips a lot. Like you know, and not saying you shouldn't do that, but a lot of y'all do it and do it to excess. You can afford shopping a lot. You can afford Uber Eats a lot. You can afford, just drinking for no reason. You can afford your drug habit, or you can afford everything else. But when it comes to, oh, I gotta have family, kids, oh, it's so many things. The money, the mental issues. I'm like, mm, I'm not too sure that's what it is. I think sometimes we put we use class as an excuse to not say that we just don't want to do something. I'm me fi me. I'm about me. I want what I want. It's got to be about me. But if you say I really don't want to have kids or family right now because, or maybe not ever because I just want to do me, that's fine. But and the other side of that coin is this. A lot of people don't want to talk about the people who actually went down that road where they didn't want to have kids when they were in their 20s and 30s and sometimes 40s. And then they get to their sometimes 40s and 50s and 60s and go, oh, man, if I could do it all over again, I would do it differently. We don't talk about that. I know y'all hear people go, oh man, I could be wild and free. And some people go, I'm gonna have a family when I settle down at the ripe old age of 46. It's like, yeah, that might not happen. Yeah, that might not ever happen, dog. Like a lot of this has to deal with um this fantasy that basically it doesn't teeter to be like immortality, but sometimes it's like, dog, we're not Wolverine. Like you can't you're not an X-Man, you're not a mutant, you're not gonna live for hundreds of years. Like at some point you got to kick in like, yo, oh, oh, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Because a lot of y'all, everybody wants to grow and evolve and live and go through all these phases. But what you don't say is, and I hate to say it this way, what you don't say is this. You don't say, that, change and growth and evolution is inevitable until death. So a lot of y'all ain't just rolling with the program, and you're living life and you're making good decisions or bad decisions, and you're working through life and you're planning. Because a lot of y'all think this is planning, and the reason why I don't think it's planning is honestly what I've seen in my lifetime is a bunch of people who say everything that they don't want, and they are they're still not ahead. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to have kids and you don't want to be married. Cool, no problem. And you said that when you was in your 20s. Cool, no problems. But how and you want to work and do all these things, no problem. But how are you in your 40s and you still living check to check? What did you spend the money on? It wasn't on the family, it wasn't on, it wasn't child support, it wasn't daycare, and I understand the rising cost of living. Don't get it twisted. I do. But some of y'all, it's not just the rising. Some of y'all, it's the rising cost of living, but it's also your your bad spending habits. Like, a lot of y'all ain't as broke as you think. You get what I'm saying? Y'all just not as broke as you think. Y'all plan broke a little bit because of things you choosing. So the other thing about, we could just, skip a generation, and then who's going to be the generation after that? And the reason why I said it's like baby boomers, because a lot of y'all don't probably know I'm in Gen X. Like, I'm in the very end of Gen X. Dead serious. Um, Baby boomers are called the baby boomers. Gen X's other name is baby bust. So that's why we like the smallest population of everybody, right? So you're gonna have another generation of people who like, we just not gonna have kids because our money ain't right. And unfortunately, those are we're gonna see the people who think like that. Because they're not actually planning for the future. And I'm not saying you live off your kids. That's not what I'm saying. Y'all might not have a purpose in life or a reason to live because you don't have a family as you get older and you're getting sicker and you're just gonna drop off. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because it's not just you need a family that gives you purpose. You also need a reason to stay healthy. A lot of y'all are just unhealthy. Like, when you're left to your own devices, you're too hedonistic. You know, because think about it. Like with the ladies, you know, you probably spend more on hair and nails and shopping than that might equal the cost of a kid. And I've seen plenty of mothers who spend more on their hair, nails, and shopping and BBLs than they do their own kids, and they got kids. So to me, it's more selfishness that's the issue, and lack and not being wanting to, not being willing to, or wanting to make a sacrifice for another human being, or to be a platform, or to be a stepping stone for your own children that are younger than you. So, your own children, of course, they're younger than you, but for the next generation, rather. So that's just my point of view. I could be wrong, but tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.